Chelsea struggling under Pochettino. You heard Simon Jordan say it there. This is £400 million spent in the summer. I do wonder how many of those players are Pochettino players, but regardless, he is the manager. He's on big money. He's the one the club wanted. They've got him. And so far, not so good for Chelsea. 14th in the league, 14th last season. You've made no improvements.
No.
In fact, you've gone backwards.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think we have regressed to a degree. I think there are reasons to explore, though, as to why that's happening. I think Chelsea are completely all over the place, but why? Regardless of how highly you rate Pochettino, regardless of
Do you rate him?
No, I don't rate him as highly as you, but I certainly concede that he's a good manager. He's a good manager. Should he be Chelsea manager? I think that we could have been slightly more ambitious. Has he got a proven track record of establishing winning trophy hunting machines? No, he doesn't. There is certainly an element of jeopardy around Mauricio Pochettino's appointment, but even I will concede that he is a good manager. He has a decent track record, and he is certainly capable of managing a team that isn't 14th in the league. So we have to explore what's going on. I think it's clear that it's the problems from above. It doesn't matter what Mauricio Pochettino does. People constantly talk about the spend of Todd Boehly and Boehly and Clearlake without actually understanding that it isn't about simply spending money. There seems to be this weird calculation amongst football fans, and I just think it's so basic. You know, people go, they spend money, therefore they're good owners. Money spent equals good ownership. It's so much more complex than that.
Yeah, but sometimes people say money spent equals success. 9 times out of 10, that's true.
Money spent doesn't equal success.
No, not all the time. I'll give you the 1 time out of 10 where it doesn't, where you and Everton have proven that.
And Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah.
You know, there are examples. Spending money badly will ultimately end in bad results. And Chelsea are spending money badly because we're spending money in a way that isn't about the furtherance of the football team. We're spending money to try and increase the value on the brand that is Chelsea Football Club. We aren't spending money to improve the first team. When Chelsea,
you're buying better players, no? These are good players that are coming in for good money on it. Fernandes is a good player. Caicedo's a good player. No?
Yeah.
Good players, no?
There's
Ben Chilwell coming in was a good player.
Okay, if you let's really explore this. If you want to improve Chelsea, so in the summer that's just gone by, if you want to drastically improve Chelsea, what do you need to do? You need to go and sign a proven Premier League player. So possibly James Maddison would immediately improve the club. But Chelsea decided we don't want James Maddison because he's too old. He isn't in our model. He isn't part of what we want to do. Yeah. He won't increase in value to the level that Chelsea need him to increase in value to. And therefore we don't sign him. We go and sign players who have a huge ceiling in terms of what they could develop into, and players that have the potential of 2x, 3xing their rate.
Yeah.
So that is what we're trying to do. There is never a decision made at Stamford Bridge that is made from boardroom level via the lens of improving the first team. It is always made with financial decisions, financial implications at heart.
So you think Pochettino's not happy with these players that have come in?
Pochettino can't be happy.
He's not happy with Caicedo coming into the club.
I think he is presumably happy with Caicedo. You know, you can pick one.
Yeah,
you can pick one. I think Christopher Nkunku, I imagine you'd be happy with that.
Of course it would be.
But I think that if you look at what Chelsea, let's use what happened yesterday as a case study here. Chelsea are losing at home to Aston Villa, off the back of losing at home to Nottingham Forest. We didn't score a goal against Forest. We went away to Bournemouth. We didn't score a goal. We're now 70 minutes into a game at home to Aston Villa. We're losing and we haven't scored a goal. So, goal scorer, right? Well, let's bring on our goal scorer. Who do we turn to? Do we turn to Harry Kane? Do we turn to Robert Lewandowski? Do we turn to a clinically proven goal scorer with a huge track record of finding winners in the 88th minute? Do we turn? No, there isn't a striker to bring on. I know Amado Broja came on, but that is clearly not the point I'm making. If you really want to improve, if you're going to spend £1 billion and you want to improve the team, you don't spend $1 billion and not have a centre forward. It's impossible.
No, agreed. It doesn't make any sense. Like, as you were saying, I was thinking about some of the players that have gone, because you mentioned Maddison. I'm thinking, like, there wasn't even conversation about getting Declan Rice into the club. Former Chelsea boy.
No, he's too old. He's too old, and he won't have the increase in value that they believe that he will have. It's very difficult if you are.
You know, though, there'll be some people listening to this of clubs a lot smaller than Chelsea who are going to have their small violins out and think, sorry, you're a club that have spent £1 billion in free windows and you have Mauricio Pochettino, and you still, regardless of what you're saying, have some fantastic players in your squad.
Yeah, I think. Look, by the way, Eddie, with regard to the plight that Chelsea currently find ourselves in, Mauricio Pochettino is culpable to some degree Mauricio Pochettino is making bad decisions. In my opinion, playing Levi Colwill as a left-back is a bad decision. Playing Ben Chilwell as a winger is a bad decision. I think that there are some clear examples where Mauricio Pochettino is getting it wrong. Surely someone has to have a word with Nicholas Jackson and explain that this persistent dissent will end in suspension. And we're now without our goal scorer.
Who doesn't score goals.
But we're without him for the next game. He's already got 5 bookings this season. He's already got 5 bookings. And I've seen some dreadful stats. And when I've said... when I start talking about the threat of relegation or 40 points or whatever, it's weirdly seen as being hyperbolic. And I genuinely don't think it is. I think we're in quite a privileged situation because the 3 teams that came up, I think will do really well to accrue 40 points between them.
1 second. Are we having a Chelsea relegation chat right now? Is that what we're doing?
But, okay, let me answer it with a question.
Go on.
Are we having a Chelsea relegation conversation? Okay. Leicester City... bearing in mind what division they play in, right? Leicester City, this calendar year, have scored more Premier League goals than Chelsea. So what division are Leicester in?
Quite crazy.
Right, okay. So Leicester City, this calendar year, have scored more Premier League goals than Chelsea. So, okay, you want to talk about relegation. It doesn't feel natural. It feels slightly hyperbolic. It feels slightly extreme. And then you hear that stat and you go, maybe then you hear another one and you go, since the turn of the year, Chelsea have won 5 games all year, forgive me.
Yeah.
Since the turn of the year, since New Year's Eve. Remember where you were New Year's Eve, whatever you did, swanning about the West End, drinking Cavossier or whatever you get up to, right?
That's what I do.
You're doing that. That was a long time ago now, right? Since then you've had the shorts on, you're back in the winter clothes now.
Yeah.
We've won 5 games. And if you explore who those games are against, it would blow your mind. We are in relegation form. There is no two ways about it.
I saw another stat, which I thought was a joke until you've just said that one. So it can't be. That since Enzo Fernandez has joined the club, he's only won 1 game.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And that was Luton.
Yeah. I know. We're completely all over the place. That's the other thing. This season, we've only beaten Luton at home, who are on course to be the worst Premier League team ever, potentially. They could equalise or break Derby County's pitiful record. So then you think about the fixtures. We have 2 winnable fixtures coming up, in my opinion. And when I say winnable, I use that term really loosely. I'm going into the OED and creating my own definition of winnable. But if we don't win them, we then don't win until December the 9th.
Who are the next 2? Who are you talking about?
We're talking about Fulham, which won't be easy, but it has to be winnable because of what's coming next. And then Burnley, again, won't be easy, but has to be winnable because thereafter, it's the worst run of fixtures that any Premier League team could possibly have. Up until December the 9th when we play Everton at Goodison, which I believe could be winnable again. So we are totally and utterly all over the place. Combine that with the fact Pochettino's getting it wrong. Combine it with the fact that the fans are incredibly unhappy. Combine it with the fact that Eghbali's still going in the dressing room, dressing down the players. He's going into the dressing room on full time. Like, the arrogance of Todd Boehly and Clearlake, I just cannot get my head around it.
Okay, how does... And look, I don't really care about this, but you will. How do you turn this around then? I mean, because Todd Boehly's not going anywhere. Unless the club's valued at 10 billion, he's not going to give up the club. I don't know if you're going to sack Mauricio Pochettino. The history suggests you will. You're not going to spend more money. Or is it a case of throw another 400 million at it in a January transfer window?
I think it sounds ridiculous, but I think we spent the money so badly that we do need to spend more money. Because we do. Because they've spent so badly. Not because they haven't spent enough. I concede that they've spent enough, but they're idiots and they've spent it badly. They've spent terrible money. Like, think about the players that we've signed.
Are you still the attractive proposition you
were? No.
I mean, if you are trying to sign that big player,
mate,
could you get Ivan Toney, do you think?
No. He'd be unless we are prepared to throw ridiculous money at him. Yeah. But the player I'd love to be friends with. I'd love to be friends with him for many reasons. But can you imagine now, say you had the privilege of going out for a quick espresso with Moises Caicedo.
I know.
Go, bruv, you could have been at Liverpool. What the hell are you doing? Yeah. You could have been at Liverpool. You're in this circus.
Imagine Lavia, who's injured right now.
Looking at it from the touchline.
What have I done?
Enzo Fernandez's form. He's down tools. He's genuinely down tools.
Is that enough?
Like, we are so all over the place. And I don't really know.
Poch gets sacked before the end of the year.
Pochettino isn't responsible
for the end of the year.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He does. But he's not responsible, Pochettino. It's not. I don't blame.
He is.
To a degree. Addy, it doesn't. It wouldn't.
Isn't it a manager's job though to make players better from a very basic standpoint?
Bill Shankly,
Jackson got better.
Bill
Is
Shankly,
Enzo Fernandez better?
no. But how can Bill Shankly combined with Matt Busby, combined with Sir Alex Ferguson, combined with Arsene Wenger, combined with Jose Mourinho 2005,
and Guardiola, Adam,
get sacked from this job?
Yeah.
You cannot make this job work because you are dealing. You know the old Alex Ferguson quote: "Pick your owners, not your club."
Yeah.
You cannot work with Todd Boehly. The point is not the football team. The point is never the football team. The point is to make Chelsea as a brand sweat, to squeeze it. Think of the emblem, right? And think of it soaking wet and wring it out. And what falls down is money. And what he's trying to do is make as many dollar signs fall out of that emblem as possible. It isn't about a club anymore. We're a shell of who we are. We're the definition that you had of Chelsea for the last 30 years, we're a different club.